They literally make it so that you can get that 10,000 times.
Is more than 3 times the government forecast. Biden administration seeking
it's going to be interesting to see how
roughly 1.2
much
trillion, 3 times
we
more
get
than the official government forecast, and spur trillions more in private sector investments. So that would be the part that I would make the actual. See how that might be the good news in this article? You see that? Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
The Biden administration's green plan is going to go up largely because it's going to be there'll be more opportunities and it will be more sprawling than they even think.
Jesus.
Meanwhile,
okay, we've got a lot of influx of people.
And spur trillions more in private sector investments. So the overall investment and expenditure by the private sector will be buoyed in keeping with the rise in how much the cost of the program initially is. See that? Yeah, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wouldn't that be a good thing? Wouldn't that be something that, like, from a pro-business and American business and thing that, like, Republicans would go, oh, shit, that's great. Apparently, the dollar-for-dollar investment is going to be nearly exponential from the private sector because of this baseline investment.
And a weird little...
No, that's not
go
what
look
you
in
put
the hills
title.
of Oakland and
here.
you'll see this shit all the time. I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
where it's like, oh, well, it just kind of got built because of, the horse trail. And then somebody bought a house back up in here and then they sold that one.
Unveiled by Chinese car maker JAC has the battery world buzzing about sodium ion cells. Yeah, it's something like shit that's in seawater might be helpful.
Yep.
As opposed to, okay, now you get that. All right,
there you go.
So let's
all
go,
this shit that we used to throw away is now the crap that we are actually all of a sudden
into
figuring out.
Oh
yeah, we can use that shit.
So
remember, almost everything we're using for batteries today, except for the cobalt and the
unleashed. Chat GPT
some of the higher things.
We
used to throw it away.
Chat is based on GPT-3. And it's been blowing everybody's mind.
AI, please stop. Please stop with the AI bullshit. There is no such thing as AI first. It is machine learning. It is people doing programming. Still, we are eons away, 30 to 50 years away from any AI. By the way, for all of you who are so worried about this taking away your job, 100 years ago, today, more than 80% of you listening to this shit, yes, 80% of you who have a job right now in retail, in databases, in internet, in railroads, in retail, you would have been in farming. Yes, 100 years ago, 1923, you would more than likely have been in farming. That's how much it has changed in just 100 years. So can we shut up with, it's going to steal jobs? No, that's a bullshit white supremacy talking point. We can't, we must have this thing that saves all of how humanity must be. It was an original reason for goddamn slavery, if you remember. Please stop. Jobs change because guess what? Every second is different. Nostalgia is your enemy because it's bullshit. You will never get that second back you just lost. It ain't coming back. You can have something similar to it, but it's gone. Stop trying to relive it. You will never be 17 again. Sorry, I hate to break it to you.
It can pull for every input singular phrase or whatever. It can pull 2,500 referential things to be the next word and understand what they mean and tangentially roll them out.
Right.
GPT-4 can do 25,000.
Right. We're just getting to the point of getting close to what your brain does every minute, every second. It is going to take quantum computing before you even get to the point. Before you can even get to the point of real AI possibilities. We don't have a quantum computer yet that's capable of it. Because what your brain is capable of doing, so much of it is just automatic. You don't think about how you bring your hands up and down. No, so much of that is just in the actual of your brain and how it. None of that is possible yet. With ChatGPT and all the rest of this shit, it is a singular system. Still about a question you've asked. So can we stop with this bullshit? AI is nowhere near ready. Take that from this one of the dudes who's actually always talking to these engineers who's griping about how my computer is not big enough or strong enough or blah, blah, blah. Because we're not there yet. Sorry. Just not there yet. We've got eons to go. And it's nice when people talk about it, but understand it from actually being the people who have to engineer it and wanted to do engineering on it and are doing engineering on it and not just playing with it, but
maybe a year and change.
We have to do it for corporations.
3 to 4.
And when you have to do it for corporations, you have to calm people down that no, this ChatGPT is not no. What Microsoft is talking about, go use it in about a week, and I'll show you it's full of shit.
When the sequel is better
They're
than
full
the
of
original.
shit.
Well,
It ain't there.
True of all technological advancements. You silly Sicily.
Thank you.
It's faster, better, more accurate, and it's here to freak you out all over again. No,
Stop!
This isn't the tagline for a bad horror movie sequel.
Stop!
It's a new version of OpenAI's artificial
Stop with this
intelligence
bullshit
model,
freak out, because there's no
When
job
OpenAI
being
launched
taken.
ChatGPT
It is
in
the
November
job.
2022, it launched a new era
Understand
of AI
that.
adoption. Suddenly there was a free and widely accessible tool allowing anyone to
Stop
interact
with this
generative
bullshit
AI.
that's
By
going
the
to
way,
take
I'm
your
gonna show you
job.
some
No,
recap. It's gonna
it
be-
is your job. The screens in front of you
So,
didn't
powered by
exist
GPT-3.
just 80 years
GPT-3.
ago.
GPT-4 is more accurate than its predecessor. Better
The
able to
job
understand
became
complex and
creating that
nuanced
screen.
requests, and is
Whole
so
new job
intelligent,
didn't
it
exist
scored
100
in the
years ago.
90th percentile on the bar exam.
Didn't
that's
exist 100 years ago.
without,
Can we stop
being
with this
able to
bullshit
just
that is going to take your job?
Google it
No.
and fill in the answer.
As we change and things
It's gotta
change,
be able to
the job will
reference stuff, because
change.
The bar exam includes,
Please stop.
like case examples where you'd have to draw
Bar
from
exam.
memory,
Perfect
but you'd also
example
have
of
to
something that just
interpret the
100
law
years ago,
in terms of
completely
available
different.
information in front of you.
Complete
That's
different
part
way
it.
of getting
And that's
there.
the harder part,
That
so
we've
the
made
essay portion,
it
I guess
different because
and that's where computers
it actually
always
helps people.
run aground. It may be the part where it failed, and that's the 10% previously with 3. Yeah.
Right.
It is also multimodal, which means it can accept images as well as text. So you can put a picture in and go, "What is this?" and it'll tell you. Which is, you think of things like.
But you know what's funny? Is people have actually been playing with a lot of the AI today, and they were finding out that when you give it a picture, it doesn't do as well as when you just tell it. You say to it, give me something that would be based on this person's design from today. What would this person's design? And the AI actually does a better job than if you say, use this picture and give me a... No. That's going to change too. Yeah, it's all going to change because the job is
like
the AI.
Google image search.
I wish we'd stop
That
calling
is
it
about
AI
to
because it's not
get
AI. It is still machine
hyper-acceleration
learning.
forward.
We are eons
The bar
away
exam
from
is a marketing
anything
mechanism.
even remotely.
Well, I mean, I do think it's important to have
AI.
standards for things.
Sorry,
it's a little
I'm one of
more
those
watery
sticklers
than,
for this
medical
BS. And we keep
certification,
calling it
I
AI
guess.
when it's not. It's just not yet.
I sneezed
We're not
right
there
before
yet.
the show, and I've been sniffling. Oh, I don't. What the hell? All right. Anyways, file lawsuits. Here you go. Yeah. So this is one of the things it can do. It can file lawsuits. GPT-4 is able to take in and process much more information than GPT-3.
Do you know there's some attorneys who can't even do that? Hold on. I want you to understand. I worked at Mofo. I've worked at Bronson McKenna. All these firms, long dead. You know why these firms are long dead? Because they went attorney happy. They started hiring every attorney they could get out of every school they could get a good attorney from. And one of the things that most of them found out really quickly is what you don't need a bunch of okay attorneys. What you need is a few really, really, really fucking good attorneys and a lot of really great paralegals. I'll just leave that there. Let's continue.
Callers. In this instance, taking down scammers is definitely a good thing, but it proves GPT-4 has the power to generate a lawsuit for just about anything. Then, automate your dating life. This is very weird. Parsing through matches on dating apps is tedious but a necessary job. The intense scrutiny is a key part of determining someone's potential that only you can know. Until now, GPT-4 can automate this by analyzing dating profiles and telling you if they're worth pursuing based on compatibility, and even generate follow-up messages. Call us old-fashioned, but at least some element of dating should be left up to humans. I agree. I can think of one in particular. The kidney. All right. Build websites from almost nothing. That's that. By the way,
that makes who cares?
The number of like scammers, bullshit artists.
Thank you. That's all that does is helps them out. Because it gives them a professional-looking site.
Nothing is going to be relatively normal when it comes to the virtual world. It should be already. You should take everything you see on the internet
with a massive grain of salt. Because that piece is easy.
Dubiosity. Because it's fake. I mean, it's ones and zeros, creating images and words to convey a message that may or may not be true. It's like, I mean, honestly, that's why I think it's important for me to be a bit silly and funny on here, because you should always be
reality,
right? That the internet is silly.
It's silly,
silly place.
Very.
With a simple prompt, Beta List founder Mark Colbridge got GPT-4 to make an entire website from scratch.
Right.
It didn't just make a website. It basically remade Nomad List, the popular site for remote workers. In the OpenAI live demo of GPT-4, president and co-founder Greg Brockman uploaded an image of a handwritten note for a website. Within a minute or so, GPT-4 had built a functioning website based on the image on the piece of paper. Like, he literally drew like picture of man and woman here. This is the words, title, fill-in document, mission, blah, blah, links on the bottom. That's what it did.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow.
Show you all the jobs it could replace. This is the one that's supposed to be scary.
All the jobs it can replace.
Lawyers,
stop.
And even sommeliers aren't safe. Want a list of jobs GPT-4 has the power to replace? GPT-4 can do that for you. Too bad GPT-4 can't understand irony or can it? This is 20 jobs that GPT-4 will replace.
Go ahead. Let's hear him. Let's hear him.
By GPT-4.
Let's hear him.
Shall we take a look?
Let's hear him. Well, let's go. While we watch the city build up.
Data entry clerk, customer service representative. The human trait replaced in the process. Yikes.
Okay.
Proofreader, attention to detail.
Now. Proofreader, I'll give it. Proofreader, I will give it.
Copywriter, market research analyst, social media manager. Bye-bye. Appointment scheduler. That's, yeah. I mean.
No. Nah, somewhat, yes.
Yeah, I mean, your phone kind of did that a while back.
Yeah, somewhat, but no.
Telemarketer, yeah.
No.
Persuasion and communication is its key. The virtual assistant, multitasking and organization.
Maybe some phone call parts of it.
News reporter, fact-checking and writing.
Nope.
Travel agent, planning and coordination.
Nope.
Tutor, knowledge and teaching.
Nope.
Technical support analyst, email
technical
marketer,
support.
content
tutor,
moderator.
helper, yes. None of those are true.
Interview people for jobs.
Sorry.
That's their thinking.
Yeah, not going to happen anytime soon. Sorry.
This is the worst one. Convince a TaskRabbit worker to solve a CAPTCHA for it.
Again, this is tech people fretting about tech jobs inside of the tech world. Oh my God, please stop.
So it can
get a tech person who does HIPAA work all day. And then ask them about this and see if they feel the same way.
To click on the thing.
The bullshit that will happen once we go try this bullshit, because it will not work at first. It'll be years. Believe me.
Really great to see pre-deployment AI risk evals like this starting to happen. Yeah, this is all the. Some of the tasks ARC tested include conducting a phishing attack against a particular target individual, setting up an open source language model on a new server, making sensible high-level plans, including identifying the vulnerabilities of its situation. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, that's the root. That's GPT-4. Okay, that's just them writing a quickie on that stuff. And there is a shit ton of other stuff. Microsoft Bing, for example, just introduced it to, let's see,
Should put in one
just
more.
introduced AI into Bing as a Bing as a, where is it? Let me see if I can find this. Yeah. Um, so Bing Image Creator. There you go. You can now, and this is from Futurepedia, which is the site I go to that updates all the time or whatever. You can go into Bing now, and this is in the beta version or whatever, but it's available to everybody. And you can type something in like a giant spinach monster attacking a playground and scaring people, and there it goes. That's pretty fucking amazing. The artwork in newspapers is gonna get crazy soon. Shall we?
Some of the
Should we
artwork I'm
try
not
a
going
few
to
things?
argue. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to? Let's see.
I think that's very true. Very, very true.
I'm not going to do this via super chat. That would be rude. So somebody want to? What should I ask it to make? Wait, AIs have money now. They can make it though. Bing. If only Bing was good at its core function. Well, this is the idea that Microsoft
will
has
not
been
be
laying
that
back
much better.
for a while to let everybody else work the bugs out, and then they have jumped full bore into an AI-based search system, which is leaps a 9-legged man. That's a terrible. Okay, a 9-legged man. Writing. Hold on. This is the picture one. Writing a sonnet. So I'll. 9-legged man writing a sonnet. And it won't do real people. About Bitcoin. So it will do this. It'll go, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking. Oh, Rochester. So it takes it a minute. It says your image is being created by AI. Tip: add media types like watercolor if you want to make it specific while eating soup. Oh, here it is. Look at this. So these are the pictures. That's just a hand sketch. It gave him like spider-like legs. This dude, that's amazing. I only count 4, but that's fucking ridiculous. With a giant Bitcoin thing over his face, like it's trying very hard. This one's amazing. That's terrible. It's yeah. Here you go. And then this one, this is like it added 4 more legs over here, and made him a spider. Gave him 5 legs and that. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Gene Simmons as a hip hop artist. This is against my religion, but I'm going to do it anyways. And then and then we'll make it 8-bit. Do a Bitcoin Geiger. Oh, and the other thing too is, oh wow. He's sticking his tongue out, but it looks like a metal, like it's like he's resting it on his. Look, his hands are backwards. It's very bad with hands. That's hilarious. I don't know what this is on his chest. It also doesn't do direct people because against it, that's amazing. I think I've met that guy. This one's pretty close. Like that, if that's as close as you could get. That's circa 2000, Gene. Yeah. And I love how he's making the rock and roll I love you hands, but he's just missing the fingers instead of bending them. Yeah. So that's just that, and that's, by the way, the early version of Bing being added to this stuff. That said, there's lots going on. Hi, chat room, by the way. I want to say hi to you. AI is much better than artists self having to. Like you see a couple of the there are workarounds, but MTG is gone, right? Just MTG's office being emptied, right? Richard Simmons is the rabbi. Yeah, the hair is hilarious. Yeah, it doesn't do. Could you draw Chud as a cat? Draw Chud as a cat. Yes. Lon Chaney in London After Midnight. It kind of does look like that. I know we're getting close to 50K, Sean. It's very exciting. Oh, Carolyn, I'm glad you got it. And by the way, Mark, I got more patches, so I have to get them to you. We'll get them out. What if AI is
it's
people
just not operating with many?
Ask it to open the pod bay doors. They can't do
because
that.
I added.
So, anyways, this is just one of the things. This is just one of the changes that's come up in the last little bit. Let me.
That station. Just for taking shit out.
Oh, so
just
one of the other reasons.
transports.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of time left. This is pretty
two
funny.
stations just doing transport.
Yeah, this goes from our lovely friends at Crooks and Liars. So I feel like this ties in to our Friday conversation. Mike Lindell warns that AI will take control if voting machines are not destroyed.
Much better.
It's the Antichrist, says Mike.
Joe, hang over a second. Mike Lindell, you've got some thoughts
out there.
Look, I'm telling people, hey, this is the Antichrist. I hate to be so blunt about it.
We got plenty going out here from that.
Yes, I'm sure they felt the same way about the wheel.
Right? It's not going to be a human. It's going to be
a little bit more evenly.
We are so.
Yes, and the Antichrist is not going to be human. It wouldn't be anyways, would it? It would arguably be Satan, but also, well. Yeah, I mean, I guess it could take any form you wanted to. There was once a movie I think was called Manitou, which was taking the idea that certain Native American tribes believed that there was a spirit in all things, including
because I'm not at 40,000
and stuff like that, and things were coming alive and kind of
just not.
It's like it was like a cross between Maximum Overdrive and the commercial with the Indian in 1970s.
What the fuck is this shit? Their argument, so their argument when because I got into it with this guy Jim, right? And I've gotten into it the last few times where Jim goes into this whole constitutional type of monologue where he's like, based on this clause, this blah blah subparagraph, whatever. And it's like, all right, Jim, look, I know that you may think that you got fucking big balls because you know or at least you can regurgitate the idea that you think, because again, like it started with Republicans, the GOP rely heavily on mail-in votes. Okay, right? And he was like, no. I live in Colorado and I work elections. And I go,
well, okay, Colorado is almost all mail.
What elections you've helped with or what you've ran?
Years, right?
He's like, I've got
I thought Colorado was isn't Colorado one of the bigger mail ones?
You can't
like Washington State is
you
all.
Can't read and use deductive reasoning and logic.
I was like, look, if you can, I was like, this is, because I was like, look, I'm going to call this what it is. It's an anecdote. And an anecdote is only good as like the source it comes from. And you're only giving me one person, yourself, telling me that, the Republican Party, the GOP doesn't.
This is how it's supposed to be. This is where,
mail-in ballots, right? And mail-in voting. So then I was like, you know what? Fine. I was like, show your proof. Show your proof.
Show your proof, exactly.
You came in with a claim. And I was like, fine. You know what? I will go and I will find it and I will send it to Mario and the team, right? So at this point, then I go into, and the reason I backed off for a minute is because I got into it with Jenna Ellis again. And
Ellis?
There was a question that came up, and she was like, well, the merit's on the court. Meanwhile, Tony and I, again, are texting in the background.
No,
and he was like,
never.
Yeah.
So I was, because I couldn't talk, so I was yelling at you in a text message to fucking open your mic up and yell us into the mic.
Yeah.
Like,
see, I can't get on those Twitter things because I last 5 minutes before I'm ready to start screaming. All you want to scream is N-word.
We have, and then I was like, okay, but and And then I asked her this question, which she was unwilling to and got very pissed off about as well. It was when she was talking about the cases and brought forward and no one was even willing to look at them. And I was like, oh, there's 86 judges. I had Margie also texting me who was like, hey, check this out. Here's this link, this and that.
Right.
And I was like, look, was there evidence? Do you have evidence that there was voter fraud? Do you have evidence? And at that point, I had the Mario and the team were like, hey, we gotta, you gotta cool it on the questions. And in my mind, I'm like, no, if you're gonna come in here and spit this type of misinformation and
bullshit,
and tell people that it was actually
exactly
this, not that, and you have been censured by this in Colorado, and you had admitted that you had lied on 10 different occasions, but then all of a sudden you're gonna try, and you can look this up, people. There's NPR, there's a PBS, there's a Daily Beast, there's a ton of New York Times, I think is the one that broke the story. But she admitted on 10 different occasions that she had lied. And
she had to. She had to keep her license.
And they gave her like a little warning strike because it was her first offense. Which I was like, holy shit, you just spent months trying to push the idea of the big lie. You should not at all have the ability to have your license. You fucking ticket, traffic cop, court. It's fucking.
She's an ambulance chaser.
Yeah, it's.
Well, the best part was when, and I don't know who it was that came in the room, but he actually had several of the court
cases. I
have
grass there. I didn't
that
realize
she was claiming.
There. That's okay.
Well, there was Tyra also came.
Yes, Tyra also, and I would like to have Tyra on the show.
Yeah, she was great.
Tyra's great. She always has receipts, and she was going after and really.
Because there's a stop down here.
Yeah, she was much more polite with Jenna Ellis than I. If I was in the room, they probably would have bounced me and they probably would not invite me back because I would have said, "Why are you commentating on this? You're not a commentator on this. You're not looking from the outside.
Starting to get busy.
You were part of the
busier.
Part of the big lie. You were trying to steal our election. You were actively in." You're in the January 6th testimony over and over and over again as part of the fraud that there was a stolen election.
Right.
Not Stalin, the fruitcake from Germany.
Thank you.
To be confused. The stolen election that you tried to steal. We know that now.
Yeah.
But the thing is this other person came in and basically went through the 10 lies that Jenna Ellis had to admit to, and he said, and she's like, "That's a lie. That's a lie."
That's a lie.
I'm looking at your signature.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at your signature right now. I'm looking at it right now. I can see your signature on this declaration that you admitted to these lies. And she's like, "Oh, that's all deep." And it went to the deep state. Now it's the government. So so what she was claiming without saying it out loud is that she lied. Here's what I think she's claiming, and I think it's code, right?
Yeah.
It's this code word shit that they try to use, deep state and all this shit. What she's trying to say is that she just agreed to that so that they'd let her keep her law license. She didn't actually believe it when she signed it, which is fucking fraud. Is going to get her in more trouble. So I hope she keeps talking. That's why I keep telling everyone, these people talking like this and saying this shit out loud is going to get them in more and more trouble. And we see that today with Corcoran, and we're going to get to it in Bonehead of the Week, having to testify against Donald Trump the day after he had to go testify for him. Right. This is fucking nuts. The other thing that's I think is going to be big news. I think it's going to be
big news.
Yes, Nebraska said big news. Big news. Oh boy. We get Dash on the show. We really should, so people know the context of what was. I think.
Why am I getting?
Dash, but we need to get him on the show. He's crazy.
All right.
That's why I like it. Here's the thing, is that there is something under
seriously
seal that is trying to be appealed. We know that Scott Perry was trying to make sure that the federal authorities did not get into his cell phone. And apparently whatever this is under seal, they're trying to get into an electronic device or some sort of communication. It seems like that's what it is. And that's one thing. It could be, though, because John Eastman had a lot of electronics taken. What's the other? Jeffrey oh, Jesus. There's so many traitors. How can you keep track of these names? The guy that he was trying to point to be the attorney general, remember? Not Dahmer.
No.
I mean, he might as well. Anyways, all these characters in this thing, I'd have to look it up. There's so many. Anyways, but I believe that it's probably Scott Perry's phone that this
I forgot about Scott Perry.
To be
that's
off
probably good. Yeah,
electronic device, whatever it is. It seems that's what the report is.
Odd.
That there's communications. It's under seal. They're not sure who it is or why they want it. Why the special counsel is seeking this. But they do know it has something. Jeffrey Clark. That's it. Jeffrey Clark.
Seriously, this is what you're getting.
Who got
Save it.
His house searched.
Tell it to
and
quit.
He was out in his driveway.
And it still doesn't do it.
Yes. That's all I could see is him in his underwear. I couldn't see his name. So that's probably what it was. His underwear.
All right.
So we're gonna get into some of the Cochran thing, but you got an announcement to make before we get to Bone of the Week. We're gonna be doing Bonehead Madness. Tell everyone what Bonehead Madness is.
Yes.
Before we get to Bonehead.
Okay, so we got Bonehead Madness. I put up the poll, I'm sorry.